ஸோ இப்போ வந்து அடுத்தது ஒரு சின்ன ரிலாக்ஸான ஒரு செஷன், ஆனால் அதே நேரத்தில் ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு செஷனாக தான் இருக்குது. ஏன்னா நம்மளை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் தலித் இலக்கியம் அப்படின்னாலே தமிழ் சூழலில் மட்டுமே நம்ம சுருக்கி பேசுகிறோம். அது நம்ம பக்கத்து மாநிலத்தில் என்னவா இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிற கேள்வி வந்து நமக்குள்ளே எழுறது கிடையாது. லாஸ்ட் டைம் ஆனால் வந்து என்ன பண்ணோன்னா, சரண்குமார் லிம்பாலே, அப்புறம் வந்து நம்ம கன்னடத்தில் இருந்து ஒரு ரைட்டர், இவங்களெல்லாம் கொண்டு வந்து தலித் பாலிடிக்ஸ், தலித் லிட்ரேச்சர், அந்த மாதிரியான ஸ்டேட்டில் என்ன இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம பார்த்தோம். இப்போ நம்ம ஃபஸ்ட் டைம் என்ன பண்ண போகிறோம்னா, ஒரு தெலுங்கு லிட்ரேச்சரில் ஒரு தலித் லைஃப் என்னவா இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து ரொம்ப ஒரு முக்கியமான ஒரு பார்வையாக தான். அதனால தான் செஷன் வந்து நம்ம வச்சோம். இந்த செஷனில் வந்து நம்ம கூட வந்து அவங்களுக்கு வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் தான் பேசுவாங்க. ஸோ அதனால் நம்மள்கிட்ட டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு முக்கியமான பத்திரிகையாளர் வராங்க. அவங்கள பற்றி சொல்லணும்னா ரொம்ப தனித்துவமான சுதந்திர பத்திரிகையாளர். ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம், மணிப்பூர் கலவரத்தை பற்றி இதுவரைக்கும் இந்திய சமூகம் தெரியாத பல விஷயங்களை ஒரு ஒற்றை பத்திரிகையாளராக கொண்டு வந்தவங்க கிருஷ்மா அவர்களை மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறோம். கிளாப்ஸ் பத்தவே இல்லையே. வாங்க கிருஷ்மா. அடுத்தது நம்ம இது குறித்து பேசுறதுக்காக ஒரு எழுத்தாளர் முக்கியமான தெலுங்குல இருந்து நமக்கு வந்திருக்காங்க. சமகால தெலுங்கு தலித் இலக்கியத்தின் மிக முக்கியமான எழுத்தாளர், பத்திரிகையாளர், ஆய்வாளராக இவர் விளங்குகிறார். இவருடைய எழுத்துக்கள் ஆங்கிலம், ஜெர்மன் உள்ளிட்ட மொழிகளில் மொழிபெயர்க்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. இந்திய தலித் பெண்களின் ஆக்கங்களை அவர் தொகுத்திருக்கிறார். கோகு ஷியமலா அவர்களை மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறோம்.
This is going to be a very interesting session. ஷாமலக்காவோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இங்கிலீஷ் புக் ரிலீஸ் வந்து ஹைதராபாத்தில் நான் வேலை பார்க்கும்போது தான் அவங்க பண்ணாங்க. தட் டைம் ஐ வாஸ் தேர். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஹர் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ட்ரான்ஸ்லேஷன் இன் இங்கிலீஷ். அண்ட் வென் திஸ் ஹேப்பன்ட் ஐ வாஸ் தேர் இன் ஹைதராபாத். ஐ வாஸ் அ கிட், சின்ன பொண்ணாக இருந்தேன் அப்போது, ஆஸ் அ லாயர். அண்ட் ஃப்ரம் தென் டில் நவ், திஸ் வாஸ் லைக் வாட் 9-10 years ago. From then till now, before that, Shamalaka was already a literary figure in Telugu literature. அவங்க அதுக்கு முன்னாடி நிறைய தெலுங்குல ஷார்ட் ஸ்டோரிஸ், கம்பைலேஷன்ஸ் அதெல்லாம் ஆல்ரெடி எழுதி இருந்தாங்க. ஆனால் இந்த ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன் பண்ணும்போது இட் வாஸ் லைக் we did a lot of readings. இந்த புக்கோட ஸ்டோரிஸ், ஷார்ட் ஸ்டோரிஸ் இருக்கும், இதை நிறைய ரீடிங்ஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அப்போவே எல்லாரும் வந்து ஹே இப்படியெல்லாம் எப்படி எழுதுறீங்கன்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. அப்போவே I'm just saying that a lot of people questioned, why is it that you're writing stories like this? You know, why is it that your stories, some stories are funny, some stories have these punchlines that Tamil cinema has. So many of your stories are discussed that way. I mean, I'm just giving an introduction. Sorry, இது புரியல. ஓ புக்கா? This is there in the Neelam bookstall as well. It's called Father May Be an Elephant and Mother Only a Small Basket. But so after this, there's another anthology that Akka has published in English. This is the next book. She's co-authored it. And there's a lot more in Telugu itself. But now getting into also has a very revolutionary not past, it's still there. She is from the, she used to be part of the CPI-ML movement in Telangana. When Telangana was in the middle of land struggle and a lot of other struggles, caste-based struggles, Akka was in the middle of it as a student. So coming from that background, she takes to the literary world. So why? Simple question. Because you always talk about stories, right? Why you like stories? And why is it that the stories around you, most of the stories that is in Akka's book are real stories? You know, most of the stories are stories from around her. That she's fictionalized a little bit, but the thing that she constantly keeps saying is, most of these stories are stories that she's familiar with. And she wanted those stories to be mainstream stories. So why from being a comrade, you're still a comrade, but why did you move on to becoming a storyteller?
My state is significance for various struggles historically. First, ferocious struggle of armed struggle, Telangana armed struggle in United Andhra Pradesh. It's because anti-feudal and struggle for land. Struggle for land means automatically Dalits wants land. So many Dalits jumped into the struggles. And also they are suffocating with the feudal landlords and feudal suppression, feudal interlink with the caste system. We have so many stories of enslavement. We can't find a definition of labor. Labor has some values, some rules, some wages. But vetti is, we need to search, I think, a different definition. From that suffocation, so many Dalits enter into the Communist Party. So many struggled against landlords, struggled for land. It's all before independence. We got independence, and there is no change in Dalit's life. They didn't get land. Women also very active in these struggles for children education and land, but they didn't get land and education. So in Telangana, historically, so many struggles we have, but Dalit situation is as it is today, still today, but consciousness is increasing. Dalit's consciousness, what talking about caste of non-Dalit people, even communists. What are talking about caste and political parties, power parties. They're all talking about caste and Dalits. Significant incident is in Hyderabad. It's a capital city of Telangana. In Hyderabad, 125 feet of Ambedkar statue, founded by government. It's also great. So that is the condition. Why I wrote stories is, I will try. So we have so many writers and leaders. You know, Gaddar is one of the world famous revolutionary writer. And Jairaj, Gorati Venkanna, these are all influenced the society and power parties and even mainstream literature influenced. In between, naturally they are so very talented, very intelligent, very brilliant, very spontaneous writers. It comes from, it's spontaneous and telling stories, writing stories, singing songs. It comes from their community and family background. Because these communities are oral tradition, oral storytelling communities. Dalit communities, all are from Dalit communities. Mala, Madiga, and satellite communities we can call, not subcaste. Satellite communities, Chindu, Dakkali, Bainla, all these communities existed in our place. So, from that position, these writers, they wrote so many songs, but they never published on their name. It's a culture of Communist Party. Even Gorati Venkanna have some publications, but Gaddar, he was not published till his death. He want publish, but it's not happened. We need to go deep politics, actually. This is not place, I think. That is, the oral tradition is leading the literature. From Dalit writers, oral tradition only leading literature. And I decided, I am also leader, singer, and ballet. I used to play ballet, spontaneous peasant problems and sugarcane writers, sugarcane peasants problems. But I never just like oral. I am not famous like Gaddar and Goratenkarna. I am slow, small. But I observed Dalits are making doing so much work, literature, but writing is very less. Writing and publishing. Yeah, publishing is very less. Writing also very less. They're not. They will write. They will sing. But what they feel, oh, I am not writer. I am not famous singer. Like they compares to mainstream film singers. Yeah, that is that culture. I don't know. It's what culture it is. Inferiority and no need to recognition to writers. I don't know this, but it comes from revolutionary parties. So I felt that I want to write. I want to write what I write. See, in Naxalite party, yeah, we are all mingling the parties. There is communist parties, there is Naxalite parties, there is revisionist parties, extreme parties, all are existed in Telangana. We can't mix all these. But in Naxalite parties, leadership of these parties, they always talks against the state. Always talks against the state. Dalit people are enjoying that voice. Dalit people enjoying that voice. Because a state means it's a village landlord. Same village landlord, he will become a MLA. He will become a councillor. He will become a MLC. He will become a cabinet minister. Yeah, same landlord face everywhere. So Dalits feels that communist voice, Naxalite voice to anti-government, anti-state, these people, the people enjoys that voice. So they attracted, they entered in the parties, they sacrificed a lot. So many killings happened. We don't know the numbers. We don't know the numbers. There is no work to how many Dalits killed in state encounters. If one can do work, it will come. But there is no work. But I interested the women who women participated in parties as a mass leaders. The contradictory, how they face contradiction between women and landlords. She is also leader, but landlord never recognize her as leader. She is fighting against landlord for land. She is a leader. She is leading some mass. But landlord, some Dora, some Reddy, some Rao, some Chaudhary, you know, they never recognize her as a leader. So, like these personalities we have, I interested in that women role in the parties. Even some rapes happened. In rape, parties also just branded as rape victim, but she's a leader. Both are there. Part always saying rape victim, rape victim, rape victim, rape victim. Why is she rape victim? She's a ferocious leader. Landlords also thinks if we stigmatized as rape victim, the people will not follow her, no? People will not follow her, in her leadership. The same party also propagated the rape victim. The state thinking and party thinking is same. Yeah, this is, I find interesting. It should be come in writing. So I took some women biographies. So I started writing, and in Telangana, you know, always suffocating, always encountering, always like, no, we don't want to suffocate that kind, but we have great life of communities, great culture, great knowledge in cultivation, agriculture, food, in nurturing the children, in the family relations, work sharing, family values we have in community. I know that. I have beautiful experiences of my village, my family, my community. These are all grabbed into the untouchable. Untouchability is there. But why all coming under untouchable? Because my father used to say, can I say Telugu? Yeah, my father used to say, ఎవడైతే పని చేయ శాత కాదో వాడు దొంగతనం చేస్తాడు అంటుండే అనమాట.
Whoever doesn't know how to do work is basically somebody who is useless. Whoever doesn't know how to do work, right? திருட்டுத்தனம் அதான். whoever cannot do work, யாரால வேலை பார்க்க முடியலையோ அவர் வந்து ஒரு தொங்கா is like, yeah. திருடன் அதான் திருடன்.
My father used to say that, yeah, that is some kind of mentoring for us. And also, wherever you go, stand and talk with them. Don't come with crying to back. Don't come. If you come, I will beat you. This kind of this kind of nurturing, oh, it works everywhere, in college, in school, like that. That is the culture we have. That is the culture we have. Why should we have losing our culture? And also in my community, so many artists, so many artists. So tabla and dolak, band melam. My father is captain of band melam. He's used to gives training to others in my village and other villages. Yeah, this kind of community is not only my life, only my goppatanam speciality, but every Dalit family, community in every state, like that. That's why who are the powerful people, they suffocating with untouchability. They are suppressing with untouchability. This is the caste mind game. So these are all we can't find in the literature, even Dalit literature. In Dalit literature, always speaking violence only. Yeah, violence is there, but not only violence. This is I found very important. And in my state, in 90s, before 90s, 85, 83, it's happened Uchakotalu, massacres, Karamchedu and Chunduru. In that time, Dalit leaders and writers, it's like literary stream. I inspired with them actually in written, in writing, written. In Telugu, Likhita Sahityam. It's a shift from oral literature to written literature. It's so powerful. In the time of one side of Dalit literature, anti-caste literature, anti-discrimination, anti-killings, anti-atrocities literature, and other side, feminist literature. In middle, as a Dalit woman, I am there. So, in that time, I'm following feminist literature and Dalit literature. So, I started I didn't write first stories. I compiled a anthology in Telugu with 53 Dalit women writers. I compiled in Telugu. So in that, I want to part in anthology as a writer, not just editor. So I wrote story. Yeah, one story I wrote. People, one of the feminist magazine they printed. So many letters came in response of that story. So I feel so thrilled. So I wrote most stories. But thing is, I wrote story in the title story. That is, father may be elephant, mother only small basket, but. It is a title, it's a metaphor in the village. Every woman will says that metaphor. Yenuganta tandri kanna ekula buttanta tallinayam.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah. Yenuganta tandri kanna ekula buttanta tallinayam. Father like big body, no? He's like elephant. But sometime when daughter delivery time, mother only need. The father has so much love on daughter, but he can't do anything that time because it's a time not recently corporate deliveries. No, that time is mantrasanis, midwives in communities. Every village, Dalit women and backward class women only mantrasanis. They have so much knowledge about these um, pregnant delivery and kids. So much knowledge. They have so much confidence. So much confidence. They are doing delivery. They are giving birth to mother and baby. That confidence is in village. She has no education. She's not even nurse, but she always does that. Yeah, that in that specific context, ఏనుగంత తండ్రి కన్నా ఏకల బుట్టంత తల్లి నయం. That is metaphor. So I used that. It taking men are so aggressive. Men are so much aggressive. Women are taking casually. They're not enjoying even. Oh, they don't care. So, that story is actually my father's story. My father's story. My mother used to fear, if your father is, listen, not reading, listen this story, what he would say. Why you are writing our life, you are writing in books. Is this stories? ఇవి రాస్తారా, ఇవి మన జీవితాలు. Why you are writing as stories? It's not stories. Stories, they felt stories are different. Not this. So, finally my father get this information. Shamalamma, they said always Shamalamma. Shamalamma wrote story about me. What you wrote, beta? What you wrote, beta? He asked. I said. So he felt, భార్యను భర్త కొట్టకపోతే ఇంకెవడు కొడతాడు అని. You know, you know,
Anybody wants to like
why? Yeah, yeah, he did that comment, otherwise it's silence. He never cares for stories.
Akash, whatever it is that she's been saying, that I didn't stop you and like, you know, ask for a translation. Is this fine? Fine, right? Okay, continue. Whether I should translate into Tamil, I was asking, but they don't need it. Please continue.
Yeah, but before my father, I felt so much fear. What would my father says? What would my father? Because he is old. He's old. If hurt, I am the reason of some disaster. You know, I fear. But my father is take it easy. He said, not an elephant. Not an elephant. Yeah, that is metaphor. So other friends started about this story. Dalit men is facing so much violence, atrocities, but they are beating their wives. They making like villain. Oh, my father is not villain. My father is my hero because he sent me school. I am me and my brother first enter the school from my village, my community. He did that step. Sometime akka tammudu, sister and brother, if we go alone, some cattle comes and disturbs them. So he organized group of children. He went my community and convinced them. So how he convinced them? We don't have any education. Even our children must have education, because we are voting. We don't know. We are voting whom. We need to read, but we don't know. We will go for our children to ask, which is name for which candidate. That is one thing. And also, we have 3 acres, 4 acres land. We have the patta documents, entitlement documents. But Karnam Dora has another information. Karnam Dora has another information, that Tahsildaru, Girdavaru system. No? If we go the Karnam Dora, he wrote this land regarding to some other person, not my father. So he always saying lie. He never say truth. But he always collecting money. So we need to read documents, land documents. So our children only in future, they will read for us. So education is important for us. The other they are also ma Chinnanana, Peddanana, Peddappa, Chinnappa, like that. No, they convinced. We made 5 members. We went school. That is the heroism of my father. How can you say the villain? Yeah. Oh, that is my fault. I made him villain because of this story. So this story is not enough. I will write in another story. Yeah, that's it.
The criticisms that you're talking about is generally when somebody else reads a story, the story is from your life that you've written, and they try to analyze it from their perspective, right?
Yes.
Generally, in the literary world, or even in feminist literature, whatever is published, it's always published from from the perspective of the oppressor caste, right? From the dominant caste, Savarna, all of them. I'm talking within feminist literature. So when they saw your stories, some examples, there are many examples in this book you should read. One of the stories is the story of Balamma. Just to give you an example of what Akka is talking about, there is this story called Tataki Wins Again, which is the story about Balamma.
Balamma. Yeah.
Balamma, the small girl, 12-year-old character in that story, who's trying to water her land. Okay, she wakes up in the morning earlier than anybody else to water that piece of land. And when you're watering it, the water is such that you can divert it to another field. So she's trying to water this piece of land, wakes up early, goes, tries to water it, and then the Dora of that village, who is a Reddy or
Bus Reddy.
some Reddy guy in that village decides that, hey, this one's watering her land, water is not reaching completely to my land, so how do I stop her from doing it? And she is like, this person who doesn't let even older men in her village, her own community men, water their land. She goes early. She is like, I have to bring water to her piece of land. So this man, the Dora, decides to sexually assault her, this 12-year-old child. Also the land that she owns, her father owns, was land that they got during land redistribution. So that man's ancestors' land in redistribution comes to this family, if I'm right. So this man tries to sexually assault this girl. That's where the story has a spin. She kicks him in the groin and she runs. That's how the story ends. The story ends where she kicks him, this 12-year-old kicks this really old man, and then all the women of the Mala and the Madiga Vada are giggling about it. That, she kicked him in the groin, she kicked him in the balls. That's what happens. That's how the story ends. Similarly, there are stories in this book which have like endings which are very different than what is usually found in feminist literature or literary world or whatever it is. So when these stories were being discussed, because when the book came out, we were discussing these stories, and that's when Shamalaka, some of her stories were seen as having these endings and punchlines which people are not used to, right? So that's what she's talking about. That is something that we discussed as well, right? When this criticism came towards you, that your stories, when they spoke about patriarchy, when you're trying to talk about your father, who is a hero to you, or the characters, the woman, which are very different, how did you respond to that criticism, and how have you worked after that?
Yeah, Dalit life is so huge. That is some another world. People needs to understand. Mine also little stories. So roots is so deep. Now I am thinking why these kind of stories. Dalits are still alive because they are struggling every second. Even Dalit girls. Every day we are reading newspapers, atrocities, minor girls, all that. In the villages, work is Dalit culture, Work is Dalit culture. There is no option. If no education, agriculture only available for them. Agriculture only available for them. It gives food security, it gives everything. So now people are studying, getting education, but violence is same, Yeah, so many stories when we, that's why elder people is so important. Our grandmother, mother, grandfathers, and so important for everyone, how they lead their life. So many enemies to them in the village. These atrocities, so many attacks they faced, they also attacked the others. That's why they are still alive. That's why I am here now.
So you're saying that putting these stories in print,
Yes.
in the literary world is
Yeah, people are so much worrying. You are, why you are provocating innocent people? Because Tataki is kicks. You want so many girls kicks to others. Why you wrote? And one guy came from Bombay. He said, one boy story. His classmate, the non-Dalit, even he's Reddy. These boys, same. Mala boy and Reddy boy, same sitting one bench. This Reddy boy calls his mother half name. If Ellamma they have, Elli. It disrespect. The same classmate, Mala boy, Ore, why are you calling like my mother like that? It slaps. Your mother for your goddess or your heroine. My mother for my goddess, my heroine. Why are you calling? He slaps. So, this Reddy boy is every day listen to their parents. They calls always Narsadu, Yelladu, Ramadu, even Rama God, Ramadu. If Dalit. Yeah, this culture, even not only calling, when they wrote in documents, some village revenue documents, they wrote half name. This is, who said this is the caste discrimination? Who are saying? Yeah, we need to so much knowledge. We need to methodology to finding this all. What is the forms of discrimination? What is?
We need methodology, or we need one of your stories which talks about how this boy hits that other boy because he says that.
Yeah.
I mean, this itself kind of not only puts in place the fact that this practice is in place, but also it questions the practice, right?
Yes.
Methodology, academic, all of that is fine. But one story can address that, isn't it? So, which is why.
But people says these are all stories. These are all fiction. Yeah, we need history. Yeah, if history we project them, they are not ready to read.
But Akka, that's the problem with what you said before, right?
Yeah.
Most stories are oral. Almost the entirety of stories in India connected with communities that are oppressed caste communities, underrepresented communities, all stories are oral. It can be stories of ancestors to present day stories, like the story of your father or anything for that matter from your village. So, as a question, since he's going on like giving me hints, as a question to wrap up, how is it that we bring, like what you've done, how is it that we make these turn these oral stories into stories of utmost relevance in the literary world? Because that's what you have done. So for all the people here, and generally as a practice, how do we do that? Second, you have faced a lot of challenges in doing that. What has been your response to that?
Yeah, I'm enjoying challenges actually. This, because we have, wherever you go, we have challenges. As a writer, we are producing some new outcomes. Yeah. Not only my challenges, it's a Indian Dalit challenges. So I am writing the Indian Dalit stories. Matter of the fact is, publishers also helped me so much. The Navayana publication, they published my stories. And Tilted Access from UK, they printed same. They feels, oh, we don't know this is Dalit and anti-caste stories. These stories are women's stories, children's stories, music stories, agricultural stories. It's music instruments stories. Yes, Dalit lives around the music, nature, greenery, and songs. Yes, Dalits are protectors of the ecology. Our people have so much knowledge about cultivation. That's why the desire of land is that. They're ready to anyone to land. So many people in Telangana, because of land, they killed. They died. So many. We don't have the statistics, history is so important. I read Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule, and after that Ambedkar's history, Ambedkar writings. So I felt so much powerful. That is my power. Not only me, I am connecting all in India, in every state. including Tamil Nadu. So many friends I have. First, Lakshmanan, he invited me. And yeah, so many. I'm inspired so much with this Neelam and Ranjit brother. You know, he don't know me. He don't know me. I never saw him, but I saw Kala, Kabali in Hyderabad. Through whole family, my family, the village community went and watched the films. Yeah, that is the power. Yeah, storyteller power. And also, we are getting so much consciousness and consciousness power. If other people, they always self-contradictory. Self-contradictory. We are identifying their self-contradictory. That is consciousness. They are in trouble, actually. Casteist people in the trouble. We are open. We are ready to struggle, ready to face anything. But they are in the problem. They are in insecurity. That's why they are frustrating and always self-contradictory. Even they are living according to Indian Constitution. They are enjoying rights. But they want to change Constitution. This is the self-contradictory. Yeah, we are so consistent lifestyle. We are enjoying Constitution rights. So we should protect Constitution in future.
He's been going on looking. Evlo time எடுத்துக்கலாமா முடிஞ்சிச்சா? Last question. Akka, that same thing that we were discussing some time back, you know, this thing about, also like most of our Akka stories, though it's constantly called woman writing, most of our stories are about land, right? It's about land, it's about lifestyle, it's about thinking style, it's about like different forms of resilience that you will read when you read the book. But since we have 2 minutes left, last question, again the same thing that I was talking about. You were mentioning that in spite of all the challenges that you have, right, you have decided that you'll keep writing and you'll also, you know, figure out a way to self-publish. This is something that you were talking about. Independent scholar, that is something that you want to identify by because of the challenges that you've had. When I say challenges, I don't mean like, you know, problems. What I mean is, because your stories are written in a certain way, you know, there is a certain way in which you're presenting oral stories. The way in which the response you have faced is different than what everybody else talking general politics face, right? Which is why you've come to this point where you're saying that you're going to work as an independent author. What does that mean? And what does that mean?
Okay.
And what does that mean going forward for you as a writer?
Yeah. I have so much treasure. I have so many thoughts. You know, I want to write. Need time and independency and everything. Because I want to, this is also one political statement. Independent scholar. People never recognize independence. For Dalits, I'm not saying others. Even women also, they are always fighting for independence, empowering. But I am also women now. I want. That is a political statement. In Telangana, in Andhra, in my area, Andhra, the Raitu, peasant, the Raitu is not applicable for Dalits. Even they have land, 2 acres, 3 acres land. It is not coming under Raitu peasant definition. Raitu means like Kamma Dora. Dora is Telangana word. Chaudhary, like Rao. Raitu means it's a limited to them only. not for Dalits. But Dalits fight again is fight for that identity, Raitu. Because they have land, no? Yeah, this is also. In India, people thinks, even Dalits thinks, we are living under caste system. We are not independents. You know? We are living under caste system. We are not independent. So other people also who are caste beneficiaries, how can you be independent? Yeah, that is their mindset. I want to be independent. This is my mindset. Yeah, this is one kind of ideological statement, I think. I have so many friends, but I am independent. That's why I am writing today's independent scholar for writing, because I don't want to stick one place. So many concepts, perceptions, history are there.
You don't want
I want to.
yourself to be a woman's writer or
Yeah.
this writer or like a specific label. That's what you're saying. Or adhere to.
Yeah, I am women
Because
writer.
in woman writing, when you're doing woman writing, you have to adhere to certain templates. When you're being even a Dalit woman writer or writing particular literature, you have to stick to certain templates. You're saying
Yeah,
you
it
don't,
will come to me. I'm not going with that. Everything, you know.
you are not sticking to templates.
Yes. Because I want to write so many history, like the morning session they said Puranas. Puranas is so many politics. Yeah, ancient intercaste marriage is not just happening at present. It happens in ancient time. That we can get in from Puranas. Puranas means not like Mahabharata, Ramayana only. We have Dalit Puranas. Wonderful Puranas. The Jamavanta always, you know, dialogue, not monologue. You said. Very beautifully you said. The Dalits always dialogues. They want dialogues. Thus in Jambava Puranam also, Jambava Tata is my Tata, you know. Jambava Tata, dialogue with Brahmin priest. That conversation. In modern times, Ambedkar, he has always dialogues with all parliamentarians, with constitution. He never emotion and hurting, we can't see that. But he's always having dialogues with anyone. That is the result of Indian Constitution. That is the heritage, Indian heritage. There is no kutra, conspiracy, conspiracy from backside, beating, backside kicking.
Backbiting.
Not that. Face to face dialogue, face to face conversation, samvadam. Ready to samvadam. Ready to dialogue.
Anyway.
Even.
Vivadam. Vivadam. It's same. Samvadam, same.
Vivadam means dispute.
There's no Vivadam she's saying. She's saying only
It's not Vivadam. Samvadam. Dialogue between two persons. Yes.
Done. Okay. Solar done. He's waiting. Tamil Prabha Solar is like waiting. When can he come out? And munjichu.
We can't disturb you.
நன்றி கிருஷ்மா டீம். ரொம்ப நன்றிம்மா. நேரமின்மை காரணமாக தான் நம்ம சீக்கிரம் இதை முடிக்க வேண்டியதாக போச்சு. ரொம்ப நல்லா பேசினாங்க ரெண்டு பேருமே. இவர்கள் நினைவு பரிசை வழங்க தமிழகத்தின் மிக முக்கியமான ஒரு ஆய்வாளர் எம்ஐடிஎஸ் லக்ஷ்மணன் அவர்களை மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறோம் உங்களுடைய கரகோஷங்களுக்கிடையே. சார் ப்ளீஸ் கம் ஆன் ஸ்டேஜ் சார். இன்னும் ஒரு 2-3 ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்குது, எல்லாம் முக்கியமான ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் தான். ஸோ நம்ம ப்ளீஸ் ஸ்டே ஆன். இயக்குனர் பா ரஞ்சித் அவர்களை மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறார்கள். வாங்கய்யா, உங்கள் படத்தை குடும்பமாக போயிட்டு கிராமமாக பார்த்துருக்கிறார்கள். Come. No. Yeah, please claps for the movement. நன்றி. தொடர் கிருஷ்ணா அவர்கள் நினைவு பரிசை ஐயா கொடுத்துருங்க சார். போங்க நில்லுங்க.